and do a little rehearsal of the video that I'm going to do. And so here are the details, and I'm holding my old iPhone because this is the blog post I'm making, Mostly Beef Day 5, that lists the results from going mostly beef. So happy. Tomorrow is my husband's and my 25th wedding anniversary, and I went mostly beef just to feel my absolute best and to get over some of the holiday extras that I had over December and early January. All right, so mostly beef. What were the results? The most important thing that I wanted to get out of doing pretty much just beef for 5 days was with my waistline. So I am a proponent of the idea that if you can maintain your waistline to within 2 inches of where it was when you first became an adult, and so mine was 24, it tends to stave off a lot of health problems, diabetes, inflammation, all of these things. So the report is I was able to get my waist measurement down to 25.5 inches this morning, and so that was very exciting, and we'll see what it is tomorrow. But I want to make these videos today and do my report today because tomorrow is my 25th anniversary and I want to focus on other things. So number 1, getting that waistline down. Number 2, well, actually the most important thing, no hunger, no cravings. Did I say no hunger? Because I hate being hungry. If I'm hungry, I can't think, I can't function, I have no motivation, I'm totally distracted. So the most important thing about going beef only, and I have to admit, I had some coffee and I did have some heavy cream in my coffee. So there it is. But other than that, it was mostly beef except for one day, and I will explain what happened with that, is if I'm just eating beef and I can have enough beef that I know I can get satisfied, I don't have to worry about hunger at all. And that is probably the number one thing. That's the best thing about doing a mostly beef, going so strict carnivore, almost a lion diet, that I'm just having beef. The second thing is perfect digestion. I won't go into too many details, but over the holidays, and I tend to do this, I will add back something. I'll have more cheese, and sometimes I'll go a little bit more keto and have maybe, vegetables that grow above the ground and things like that. And I find that it messes with my digestion, and going just with beef makes just everything function perfectly. One of the odd things that I noticed was what happened to my skin when I went mostly beef. I usually have to use this green primer on my face that counteracts the redness in my face, which now that I'm over 60, you get rosacea a lot more. And no green primer needed. So my face is back to just its, regular, there's a little pink in my cheeks. I'm wearing a little bit of blush. And so what that is telling me is that that's helping to remove systemic inflammation. However, on days 2 and 3, I actually was more puffy. I woke up with, my fingers were swollen, my ring was really tight. I had the more puffiness underneath my eyes, a lot more puffiness here in my eyes, and I think probably a little bit of detox going on. So thank you very much. I think some detox was going on, and so on days 2 and 3, I actually was more swollen, but then the swelling really went down as of yesterday, and as of this morning is day 5, just really feeling fantastic. The other thing I notice is more motivation. Just if I'm not worried about like cooking or making recipes or cleaning more dishes, I have more motivation to do the other things that I want to do. This is now, what exactly did I eat? And talking about how going carnivore right now can be expensive, and mostly meat though, actually saved on eggs. We do have chickens, but they aren't laying a whole lot of eggs these days. There's only 3 chickens. So I'm usually buying about 3 with my family, because my husband is keto, semi-carnivore now too. We're usually, buying like 4 dozen eggs a week. So going mostly beef allowed me to really ease off on the eggs. And so I probably saved, $20 over the course of doing this experiment because I wasn't eating eggs. But I do look forward to having them again. Which brings me to thinking about other foods and cravings. I admit I thought about eggs and I thought about cheese, and I would say, nope, don't even think about it, because hunger starts in the mind, right? You think about food, that can raise your insulin. And so, no, I would just go and get some beef, and so I had no problem. Now, the other important thing was, what did I buy? How was it affordable? And how did I manage to have all that, beef in the house over the 5 or 6 days? So, boy, this was probably 2 months ago. There was a big sale at Grocery Outlet on tri-tip, and it was only $4.99 a pound. So I bought this big thing of tri-tip that was two big tri-tips frozen in, well, it wasn't frozen then, in one package. Now, this is the important part. The tri-tip had a really, I'm talking about a carnivore diet and doing only beef for 60s to get ready for my 25th wedding anniversary. I'm 61 and tomorrow is my 25th wedding anniversary. So I got the tri-tip and it had a big fat cap on it. So if you're familiar with different cuts of meat, sometimes on the tri-tip they take off that fat cap, but this was on, which was exactly what I wanted, because, so that was about 6 pounds of beef right there. And then top sirloin was on sale at the grocery store. Now, I usually don't buy top sirloin because it's too lean and it doesn't satisfy my appetite. So, but I bought it this time. It was only $6.99 a pound, which is pretty good in California. And so I took some of the fat from the tri-tip and reserved it when I made the tri-tip in the oven, and then I would simply add that to the top sirloin and I was good to go. So 6 pounds of tri-tip for only $4.99, and then the top sirloin was only $6.99. And then what are we having tomorrow for anniversary? We're having surf and turf, so we're going to have high quality ribeye and we're going to have salmon. And then I'm also going to make egg and cheese cups, which is I just whip together egg and shredded cheese, and then I have a muffin pan and I butter that and I bake it in the oven, 400 degrees for like 15 minutes. And then that's a really nice side that we have. My husband is keto, not carnivore, so he's going to have some, some condiments, and he's definitely going to have dessert. But for me, having done this like beef for just 6 days, cheese is going to be like amazing for me. So I really don't care about having sweets. I don't care about having desserts. I just want a really fancy cheese. So I'm going to be going to the store today to see what kind of, probably some Kerrygold cheese, which is one of my favorites. They're Dubliner. And that's going to be what's special for me. The most important thing I think about going carnivore, which I first did in 2018, which is, I call it the carnivore paradox. Two things. Now that I don't eat vegetables, now that I eat mostly meat, I consume less of everything, including meat. So that's the paradox. I'm so satisfied. I have no cravings. I have no extra hunger. So I'm consuming less food overall because I don't need more food, not eating anti-nutrients. The other thing is this total transformation in what makes me happy. And I used to be a big shopper, really into makeup. I used to have my hair colored, and I don't care anymore. This dress, which was kind of the big deal, it's a size 0. I got this in San Diego in like 2013, so it's almost 15 years old. And I like to say, carnivore is never needing to buy a new dress because all of your dresses just continue to fit for the rest of your life. We live kind of a rural lifestyle. We have dogs and chickens. Of course, I blog on shuffle dancing and on fitness. My husband is a retired teacher. I teach some guitar, but we don't have a lifestyle where we're spending a lot of money anymore. And so I think a lot of that has to do that now that I'm eating mostly meat, not having cravings, I have a much better mood. I'm not out there looking for things to buy to make me happy. Yes, it does help. Oh, thank you. Yes, now you know what we're talking about. So I think that's the main thing. And I know that it has something to do with the fact that we're, we married later. I was 35, he was 41. That we are still married after 25 years because it isn't easy. So I went carnivore, he went keto. We sleep better. We definitely have better mood balance, and I think we just get along better. And I don't know, when you're willing to I'm just going to eat meat. I don't know. You're very willing to stand up for yourself, stand up for your feelings. So I really think that this diet has actually helped our marriage in a lot of different ways. And I just hope that we continue to stay healthy. Going forward, I am so looking forward to having eggs tomorrow, having eggs and cheese. But that's the great thing about just doing beef, is that all of a sudden having eggs and cheese is like really special and lots of fun. One thing I did do is, and I'll just step back a little bit. I've got a long microphone just to, oh, and I had a serious weight problem for most of my life. My highest non-pregnancy weight was 185 pounds, and now I'm at 123. So that gives you an idea of how much weight I've lost. So I am not a naturally skinny person or even a naturally slender person. So I'm only, there we go. And the waist is smaller. So I'm only 5'1". So my waist is supposed to be, you know, around 25, 27. If you're female, you really need your waist to be less than half your height, if not a little bit more. And actually, it's the same for men. But the final thing I want to leave you with is, at one point I did kind of run out of beef. My son and his girlfriend came over. They both live in town. My son lives here half time. His girlfriend has her own place, but. So I had made chicken, pork chops, and steak, and I was like, "Oh, hey, everybody, you know, help yourselves." And of course, as they always do, God bless them, a lot of times your family is gonna, you know, eat the steak too. So I ended up one meal. I did end up having a pork chop instead of having steak, and I know it's not a ruminant, but it really didn't have too much of an effect, and just so glad I did this experiment. So thank you for being with me this morning. And so now that I've had this rehearsal, I'm going to go and turn my camera the other way and do the official video. And as I always like to say, be well, eat for yourself, and I'll see you back here on the Sugar Freedom channel. Have a great day, everybody.